My name is Henry Washburn, and my book is on World War II. This book is called On the Wings of Heroes, was written by Richard Peck, and tells the story of a boy growing up during the war. With me today is my neighbor, Dr. Tom Hanratty, who was growing up when the United States entered the war. So, how old were you during the World War II?
How old were you?
Oh, how old was I? Well, I was in my first year of high school at the start of World War II.
Where did you live?
Well, I lived in Philadelphia. I lived in a row home in Philadelphia.
Did you have any family members or neighbors who fought in the war?
Who fought in the war? What did you
Did you
say?
have any family members or neighbors who fought in the war?
Who fought in the war? Yes, my brother did. My brother was, I had a brother that was 2.5 years older than me. And so he went into the service. He volunteered for the Air Force after he got off high school.
Okay. Did your mom have to go to work during the war?
No.
Who were killed joined a big organization, and it was Mothers of Veterans.
Gold Star Mothers, they called them.
Star Mothers.
Yes.
Did you remember having to collect things like tin or rubber or paper to turn in to help the war effort?
Do you remember that, Joan, doing anything like that?
There was rationing.
There was rationing, the types of things.
That's the next question.
No, we didn't do any of that, though. But what they did do is ladies couldn't have silk stockings, and they had Victory Farms, and I had a Victory Farm that I raised vegetables on, and things.
Do you remember things being rationed, like sugar, cheese, meat, or shoes?
Yes, sir. Things were rationed. I don't think they were caused a great hardship, though. I mean, the rationing, for instance, was gasoline was rationed. Now, not very many people had automobiles at that time, so we did not own an automobile. So rationing was immaterial, and most of the people around me did not own automobiles. So that was rationing. I think sugar, wasn't that rationed, Joan?
Sugar was.
Sugar? What else was?
And some food, but meat was definitely.
Yeah. And one of the things that they had was the you saved up grease. You asked me this earlier. Now it comes back to me that you saved up grease from your cooking, and turned that in for. I think they made munitions out of that. And the okay.
Did you have to turn off your lights at night?
I think we had air raid drills.
Okay.
So we had air raid drills.
Yeah, me and my dad were talking about that back at home.
Yeah, and they had the air war. They had a wardens, and they'd do a certain time that they do an air raid drill, and then you turn out your lights. Right, John?
I think so.
Oh. Okay. See, I got my girlfriend over here to keep me honest. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Did you closely follow the war by listening to the radio?
The answer is yes. I started following the war when I was close to your age, even. Because Mussolini was coming into power and Hitler was coming into power, and I don't know whether I read newspapers or what I did, but I certainly could follow that. And I remember once I was not
Before we were in the
Before we were in the war, I followed it. I followed it more then, I guess, than later. But the one time I wasn't behaving very well in the grade school, and the sister, the nun who taught me, says, "Okay, if you know so much, why don't you give us a recount of the what's going on in Europe?" So I got up and I says, "Great, this is a good opportunity," and she liked that. So I got out of trouble fairly easily. But I think